Welcome back. We hope that you are ready for our first session. Some of you may already know our next speaker. We both had the opportunity to moderate the Congress together last year. My esteemed colleague and supporter of the Congress, Dr. Martin Bussmann, is not with me today, but to our delight, he will give a presentation about the company NesteRE and introduce us to the topic of renewable polymers and chemicals. He will also be available to answer expert questions in Speaker's Corner after the Congress. What does NesteRE stand for? I learned that NesteRE is not the same as Nestle. I think many people confuse that. It is in fact a Finnish word and stands for liquid in English. It is therefore not surprising that the Finnish state supplies its country with liquids and operates a large number of filling stations. NesteRE produces starting materials for the chemical industry on the basis of waste and byproducts. This can be used to produce plastics that are highly sustainable. In this context, it would be interesting to know what liquids NesteRE offers in the area of biopolymers from the petrochemical industry. Peter, I must admit I've listened in advance to the presentation. NesteRE doesn't have any partners for compostable plastics yet. Do you see any partners joining in the near future?
Yes, I invite Martin to have a look at our Rubio project. I think that's a good example. We have the complete value chain on board, from plants to the final packaging and the recycling. We do research together, and when it comes to business, the supply partner and the customer partner is already there. The Biopolymer Congress is the meeting place for these projects. Martin is very welcome to participate.
Okay, thank you very much, Peter. Now we look forward to the presentation by Dr. Martin Bussmann. Welcome and start the film.
Welcome everybody to my presentation of NesteRE Options for Compostable Polymers. My name is Martin Bussmann. I'm working for NesteRE as brand owner manager, and I'm happy to have this opportunity to present here at Biopolymer Processing and Molding. So thank you, Peter, for inviting me. I'd like to take you on that journey, what NesteRE is, what NesteRE as company can contribute to compostable polymers from my perspective. The purpose of our company is to create a healthier planet for our children, and to do it now and with a huge impact for the next generation. I'm pretty sure we are all convinced that we need to do something, and it has to have a really good impact. But the issue is how to combine sustainability with our modern way of living. Take a look on this building. You can see hanging gardens outside, while you have nice glass surfaces with a special treatment on it. So we all know that a change is needed, but how to do it in detail. So how can we bring that really huge step in achievement and a step ahead? Sometimes it's also to see which routes are the right ones. Which way will take me to my target? How connect with the right streams and find the suitable routes, especially if it comes to sustainability, polymers, and this modern way of living, as said. To me, this is very complicated and there is no right way. There's only to connect the best options what are on the table and to make that jointly happen. But how can NesteRE contribute to that sustainable plastics journey? That's a good question, isn't it? There are different routes and which needs to be taken, and NesteRE can really do something what I like to tell you in my lecture. But to have progress on that and also success in different ways, it needs to come to partnerships. Nestor strongly believes in partnerships along the value chain, and this is, to my point of view, the only option to come to a result, to have a significant impact, and to make that change for the next generation happen. So I like to invite you to listen, and I like to invite you also to discuss that options, and maybe we'll find a very good solution for the compostable plastics industry. So after this introduction to my presentation, I'd like to present you about Neste, what we do, what our markets are, how our value chains work. And then I like to focus on compostable polymers. How can we contribute with our technology and our capability to walk along this path? And I like to end with an outlook to see what we can do in future. Neste is a Finnish-based company, and we are creating solutions to combat the climate change and accelerating the shift to circular economy. We refine waste, residuals, and innovative raw materials into renewable fuels and sustainable feedstocks for plastics and other materials. We are actually the world's leading company towards renewable diesel and sustainable aviation fuel, and we develop chemical recycling to combat the plastic waste challenge. As a technology advanced refiner of high quality oil products with a commitment to reach carbon neutral production by 2035, we are also introducing renewable and recycled raw materials such as waste plastics as refinery raw materials. So, Neste is a refinery company working on renewables, but how can we contribute to plastics? First of all, our value chain looks like that. We are collecting more than 10 different raw materials, which we source around the world. And we use the refinery technologies to run that 100% waste and residuals in our plants. First of all, we start with a pre-treatment of those renewables materials, and we remove impurities before refining that. In our refining step called next BTL process, we do a refining, and we do that at 4 production sites globally. And by adding hydrogen to remove the oxygen, CO2 and renewable propane can be recovered also for commercial use beside the products what we sell to the market. The actual output of our company are 3.2 million tons of NesteRE renewables per year, and we'll increase that to 4.5 within this year. For us, it's very important not only to process waste and residuals, but to also lead the transformation in a very sustainable way. We want to become carbon neutral by 2040, which is very important by already using a lot of energy. But we like to maintain a biodiversity. So if we are looking into that waste and residuals, we like to drive to a positive impact on biodiversity and achieve a nature positive value chain by 2040. By doing so, also the workers and the human rights we like to keep in a very, very positive environment. We don't want to compromise on that. So we like to have an inclusive value chain by 2030 in which every worker works in dignity, which is very important to us. The supply chain and raw materials is one of the drivers. Fair labor practices, increased sustainability commitments across the value chains are key for us. As said, we are working already in those 3 pillars of the Neste business: renewable diesel, sustainable aviation fuel, and where I'm working, renewable polymers and chemicals. So, whereas you can imagine that by using renewable diesel, you can reduce greenhouse gases dramatically, you'll have a compared reduction of 90% by using that drop in solution in your diesel fleet. Something very similar is happening by flying planes and fueling them with our sustainable aviation fuel. 80% reduction in carbon footprint can achieve by using them. For us, it's a little bit different. We are using that raw materials we produce with our partners to produce polymers and chemicals. So our partners who produce polymers and chemicals out of our product are on the same commitment as we are. So we like to reduce the dependency on crude oil and also tackle the climate challenge by that use of NesteRE products and plastic wastes from us. If we do that, basically, after our refinery I've shown to you of waste and residuals, oils, we sell the NesteRE products to our partners, what you can see on the right-hand side in the box. Our partners are using crackers and having different outputs, different chain lengths of hydrocarbons. And those carbons are used then for polymerization, for the production of other chemicals, which could be surfactants, adhesives, coatings, sealants. Very important to mention is here that they are using all green boxes in their production steps in a conventional way. So there are no modification on their crackers, no modification on their polymer production sites. So what you get at the end of the day is a one-to-one drop-in solution on polymers. Our partners are already doing that for polyolefins, for polypropylene, polyethylene, but also for polycarbonate and ABS. So you can get already bio-based, NesteRE-based products from our customers. But what our customers don't do to bring any contribution to compostable plastics yet. And with my background of several years in compostable industry, I was very much interested to look into that area. I also like to bring with NesteRE pretty soon the use of liquefied waste plastics. We are looking for to get recycled plastics also into that waste stream and sell it to those partners. This is what I hopefully can report you for the next conference. But looking back into what I've briefly said before, so we are purchasing raw materials, we clean them up. In our NesteRE facilities, we produce the input for our partners running crackers and polymerization plants. So this is actually happening. As said, PE, PP, PC, ABS, and some other conventional non-degradable renewable polymers can be produced and sold to brand owners. I think here we have as NesteRE very good examples with which brand owners we partnered up, with which partners we produce those. It's a kind very, very good success already in the market to reduce fossil oil dependency and to also have a positive mission in reducing CO2 emissions on that processes via the polymers. But how does it look like for compostables? So how can we use that technology of renewable input into that production sites of our customers for compostable plastics? Looking back on the same sketch. So for sure, the first steps will be identical. Let's say, for example, we go for used cooking oil and refine that. What we get is a completely bio-based NesteRE product, what we sell. So it's 100% and could be used then in the crackers. There can be bio-based monomers produced out of that by our partners, and those bio-based monomers can be used then to produce bio-based polymers. So that's no secret. This route is accessible today, and we need to find production partners having the capabilities and interest in producing bio-based monomers to produce that bio-based polymers, which brand owners are very much interested in. So renewable and compostable polymers can be made by NesteRE and could be a significant reduction on fossil oil dependency and climate emissions, such as CO2. So it's available. It just needs to be used different than it is used today to create different bio-based monomers and polymers. How does it look in detail? So in detail, There are building blocks and monomers such as 1,4-BDO, adipic acid, and other chemicals being the base blocks for PBAT, PBS, and some other polymers which are degradable. And our partners could use existing chemical processes to create those identical monomers and polymers and have an identical performance as well. And this could be of very much interest to my point of view. I like to motivate everybody in the audience to contact me to work on that kind of route to make that accessible for the compostable polymers market. And to me, coming back to my saying of partnerships, I think just can be done in partnerships. As we've seen and experienced before, the partnership with other chemical industry or with the chemical industry producing the cracker products, thus the monomers and the polymers, are warmly welcome to reach out to us to work on that steps and hopefully to present that in the next biopolymers processing and molding conference to the audience here. So please feel free and motivated to reach out to me. Summarizing what I've said, compostable plastics are needed to run organic recycling. And I think that's what we've heard several times in the conference. It's a very much needed contribution to get recycling and recycling loops running. Organic recycling is essential. To reduce the crude oil dependency of that compostable polymers which are out on the market, NesteRE technology could offer a very interesting way forward. As said, progress and success comes only with partnerships along the value chain. So let's make that happen. And please approach me as motivating you before. Change runs on renewables. And thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for your promising presentation, Martin. Hopefully, we'll see you live again next year and hear about the progress.